Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Kenny, and this is Empire Season 4, Episode 5, and the name of this episode is The Fool. And at the end of this episode, we find out who was the damn fool, and it was hilarious, too. But before I get started, let me first offer my love and condolences to everyone that was affected by the tragedy in Texas, as well as Las Vegas. Also, everyone that was affected by the hurricanes, Harvey, Irma, Jose, and Maria. If you can give any kind of relief or support to anyone that was affected by these tragedies, please do so, because we're living in crazy times right now, and we definitely need to come together. So let me begin with this review. Now, the episode opens up as we saw from the last episode. Anita has filed a lawsuit to get full custody of Bella, and Angelo is going to be representing her in the proceedings. So we see that Cookie, along with the family, Hakeem, Tiana, I think also, pretty much the family, along with Thirsty, is meeting with this lawyer. And, Hakeem is kind of like explaining his connection to Anika about how she was dating Lucius, but then he had sex with her as payback to Lucius, and then he ended up having sex with her again, and so they only had sex 2 times. And then the second time she got pregnant, and then after she got pregnant, she married Lucius. So the lawyer's like, wow, ain't this like some shit for headlines? And then, like, Cookie had to let him know, like, look, you getting too little carried away with that sarcasm. Bring it down. So we're seeing all this go on, and then Hakeem is like, she's just doing this because she's mad that she's been she's been in prison for about 5 months, and she's mad because Bella responds to Tiana, and she doesn't respond to her. But then Tiana's like, look, I'm not trying to be Bella's mother, but I'm here to support Hakeem, and I'm also here to support Bella, and I'm also here to, I'm pretty much here to support everybody. So, it was cool that Tiana was there, supporting her man. Well, while all of this is going on, and they're getting all this information, and it's just crazy. But while all this is going on, Portia calls Cookie and tells her to turn on TV to TMZ. They turn on the damn TMZ. They talking about Lucius Lyons, about his, post-traumatic amnesia, and that they're lying about it. So now it's out in the press, but we definitely know this was leaked by Diane in the last episode. So now it's out in the open. Then we get a scene with Pamela and Andre, and we see that damn Pamela is a mess, because they done rolled around in the hay and had sex, and she's like, oh my God, I can't be doing this. And he's like, doing what? And she was like, spending the night. First he's got thinking she's talking about sex. He's like, oh no, she want to continue to screw you, but she didn't want to spend the night with you, because she's like, now it's kind of, she's saying that, I'm not doing sleepovers, but obviously it was good that you did sleep over, so boo-boo. So I guess Andre did rise to the occasion that night, and he gave you the he gave you the ride of your life, honey. Next thing you know, they about to go at it again, but then she gets a call, and he was like, so have you got any more information about my father's case? She's like, well, I can't tell you that. And he was like, so you can't tell me about my father's case, but you can have sex with me? And she was like, yeah, I like living on the edge. So, no, I can't tell you nothing about your father's case, but if there's something you want to tell me, I'm all ears. I'm like, don't trust this bitch, because I'm like, she is really getting into Andre's head. She done definitely, got your rocks off, but yet she ain't giving you no information, and she's still trying to investigate you and your family. Well, mainly him. So then we get a scene with Lucius and Claudia, with her messy ass. She's all talking about, I feel like I've crossed the line with you, I think it's very unethical, and I really feel bad that I allowed myself, you know, I allow myself to not do what I was supposed to do. And she's like, you know, and I just feel like, and I'm just kind of wondering, yeah, because, you know, taking him to the crossroads and all of that, like, yeah, boo-boo, you are crossing the line, and you've been crossing the line from day one. You was crossing the line when we saw you at the end of season 3. Dwight. Yeah, bitch, you've been crossing the line. So, and then he was like, so what's going on? Are you afraid of what Cookie's going to do? And she's like, no, I'm not afraid of Cookie at all. I'm like, bitch, you need to be afraid of Cookie. But then she's like, oh, but it's just that, you know, I made a commitment to your health, and I owe that to you, and I don't want to do anything to jeopardize that. I'm like, girl, bye. So then she's kind of saying, like, well, let's get to the bottom of this. I mean, it's like you do or you don't. I mean, do you want to be Lucius or do you want to be Dwight? You know, and, you know, is there anything about Lucius that you like? And he was like, yeah, I like his love and his ear for music. You know, I love that. You know, but that's pretty much, I mean. And then she was like, you know, do you think you'll ever embrace Lucius? And before he could answer that, Cookie comes in there and lets him know that, look, we got to go to court because Anika is suing for full custody of Bella. And then Lucius like, but didn't we give her $25 million? She's like, yeah. And despite of that, it's gotten word out here about your medical condition, so we need to get to the board because the board wants to see all of us in regards to this situation because the board is now acting crazy now that this story is out in the press about your post-traumatic amnesia, so we need to get on top of it. So we need to go to Empire. Yeah, go to Empire to fake the news. So we see that they're in the board meeting and everything, and, you know, all of a sudden Shauna's like, you know, everybody's kind of questioning, you know, is Lucius, you know, mentally capable of doing his job? So then all of a sudden Shine starts in, and then all of a sudden you got Lucius Moonshine, my friend. I'm like, please Lucius get his memory back because I'm getting sick of this post-traumatic amnesia shit. It's really starting to get on my nerves. But then Shauna's like, yeah, I want to know, you know, because you have been acting kind of funny lately. I want to know if everything's okay and that you ain't lost none of your marbles because I got, you know, 25% shares in this company and I don't want it to go down the drain. Because he's like, and then if it wasn't for Lucius, you wouldn't have that 25%. So sit down and shut up. And then pretty much, you know, the board is pretty much saying that we just want to, you know, we want proof that Lucius is actually back to his full health. So we want a medical evaluation and all of that. And Cookie's like, see, these motherfuckers really trying it. I mean, but then Lucius is like, look, you know, based off of, you know, what I went through, you know, my catalog and me nearly getting blown up, you know, then they compared that Andre, and Andre looking simple as hell. I'm like, yeah, bitch, it's going to keep hitting you. But then he's saying, but at the end of the day, I'm okay and I'm ready to get to work. But then Cookie, while he's talking, Cookie's looking out, and she sees all the press is outside wanting an exclusive because now it's out to the media. Cookie gets the idea, I got one better. We got to do this, we got to launch this, we got to, you know, launch an album within 24 hours. Why not have the press follow us throughout Empire today, along with Lucius, and, you know, if anything, you know, instead of us doing a medical evaluation, let's just let the press follow us for a day, give them a story, and we're off the hook. and the board agrees. Then, after that, we get a scene with Warren and Jamal. They're pretty much out in the city, about to go to Empire or whatever. Well, Andre's about to go to, Jamal's about to go to Empire, but then I think they're supposed to be dropping Warren off. And then, all of a sudden, Jamal gets cornered by Angelo's punk ass. And he's like, here's a subpoena for you to appear in court, for the custody of Bella. And he's like, and then Jamal's like, let me get security on this. He's like, whoa, calm down. I mean, if anything, I'm just doing my job. The case is being filed. You've been subpoenaed because you're going to have to appear in court, on behalf of this case. And then we see Warren walk up. He's like, oh, so I see you got you a new fun boy. And from the looks of it, he's dumber than the last one you had. And then he was like, oh, yeah. Have you ever wondered how this information about your father got leaked to the press? Your trick looks a little thirsty. And walked away. I'm like, you messy ass. And it's like, Jamal, you idiot. He literally threw it in your face who actually leaked your father's health situation to the press. And you were just so, you were completely in cloud nine with Warren. You didn't even see it being thrown at you. But we see that Warren was mad as hell that that Angelo tried to throw him out there like that. And I was just like, wow, Angelo is just a bitter ass. And he even told Warren that, like, yeah, don't even waste your time with that. He just still salty as hell because my mom dumped his ass, and he still ain't gotten over it yet. I'm like, of course he ain't over Cookie. I mean, shoot, Cookie's Cookie, baby, and ain't nobody like her. Don't nobody forget Cookie. She's unforgettable. Hello? So we saw that. We saw that went down. Then we get like a powwow meeting with Thurston, Claudia's there, Becky, and Cookie is kind of like controlling the narrative. She's like, look, I need you to be there, tells Becky, I need you to be there with Lucius and teach him how to be him. Teach him how to run the company. And Becky's like, how the hell am I going to tell Lucius how to run his own company and how to be him? And she's like, and then like Thurston's like, look, you've been with Lucius all these years, and you've worked closely with him, so you pretty much you pretty much are familiar with some of his traits and all that. Just help him to get familiar. Be there with him. Be there to guide him. So pretty much they got that going on. So then we see that they actually go into the studio where B is singing, and B, oh my God, I love her. Yes. So they're in there. So they're in their studio with when B is singing. He's listening, and we're starting to see while he's listening, things are starting to work in his mind, and he's starting to see colors or whatever. So he stops it and lets her know that, look, you sound good, but I'm not getting all of you. And then he puts her in a situation. He's like, think of it that this is your last chance to sing, or it's over. The fact that if you don't bring it, this will be the end of you. You need to sing as if your life depends on it. That's what I need in this track, and that's what you need to give me. And I was like, man, did this not bring y'all back to season 1 when he did that to her when in the studio in the very first episode, when he told her to think about when she saw her dead brother's body and when she was working on What Is Love? It was like, wow. And I peeped that he did the same thing to be in this situation. I was like, yes, Lucius is coming back. And I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Keep it coming. Yes. Lucius is starting to break through, and we kind of saw that in that moment. Then we get after that we get a situation with Andre and Pamela. Pamela, hits up Andre. Andre meets up with her, Andre thinking it's for, like a little hookup, some sex in the day, sex in the afternoon. But she's like, no, I'm here on business. And she says that we actually got footage of Sean being at the gas station about, about maybe 20 minutes prior to the explosion. And then she says that, look, Shine is the one who threw you under the bus. So at the end of the day, I'm letting you know so you can get in front of this. And he said that, look, I've told you time and time again, I've told you all that I need to know, and yet you won't leave this shit alone. And then she want to try to fill up on him like, so you don't want to mess around? And he was like, fuck no. And he got up out the car. I'm like, Andre is not here to play her damn game. It's like she still wants to be on this, I'm going to take you down, but then I still want to take you down. And he's like, I ain't with your Chris Brown bullshit. Leave me the fuck alone. I'm done. Next thing you know, we see he roughs up Shine and was like, you son of a bitch, so this is what you do? You gonna throw me under the bus to save your ass when you was the one who decided to bomb my father? He said, no, we bombed your father. And I ain't said nothing. I ain't no damn snitch. I ain't said anything. If anything, there is a snitch, and you need to find out who that snitch was. If anything, I think it was the guy who actually was the bomber, because remember, he was talking, the reason why Sean killed his ass is because he was running his mouth. And the reason why the whole case has even been brought up is because he started talking. So I'm like, it's interesting. But he's saying that, look, what makes you think I would do that? What makes you think I would take you down? Like, we in this together. And then Andre's like, okay. So if you really think you're going to make it by yourself by throwing me under the bus, go ahead, tell him. Say what you got to say. And I'm like, he ain't going to do that shit. Because at the end of the damn day, he got 25% shares in Empire. And at the end of the day, we know Shine. Shine ain't going to mess up no money. If anything, Shine going to find out, who's linking things to who, and probably try to get it back, and probably try to get that situation resolved in his own way. But that's my hypothesis on that. So we're going to see what's going to go down with that situation. But yeah, that was funny because Sean was like, nigga, please. So then we also see that they also visit, back at Empire. They're going, the press, and also the press is following them, like just like when they was in the session with the press is back there taking notes on everything. And also you got Claudia there too, right there with Lucius to kind of monitor him in case he has a break. So they go to visit Jamal. Jamal's still brainstorming. He's not fully gotten, everything together yet, but he's working on it. And they pretty much decide to actually go to Studio 3 to see what Shine is up to. And Claudia immediately is like, I don't know if that's a good idea. She's like, well, we're doing it today, bitch. The press is out here. We're going to make this happen. All right, on to Studio 3. They go in there with Shine, and immediately Becky was like, do not call him Moonshine, just call him Shine. And, he's saying like, yeah, I got something ready, and I'm ready to play this for you. And then Lucius like, okay, Shine. I was like, it's hilarious. So he plays the track, and immediately we see that Lucius is disturbed by it. We see that Lucius is not feeling this shit. He's seeing red, and then all of a sudden Claudia walks up, and I'm like, of course we hear it, but of course it's like, okay, do you realize that the press is right there? They don't think this white woman being in your ear is something wrong about that? But she can definitely tell he's bothered. She's like, what are you seeing? What are you feeling? What's going on? He's saying like, I feel anger. I feel rage. I see red. I see blood. And he was just like, stop the music. Stop the music! He's like, all I'm seeing is a bunch of anger with no purpose. You need to work on this some more. As a matter of fact, I'm going to find me an OG. He'll know what to do with this. And he got up and he walked off. Immediately, Claudia and Cookie are thinking something's up with Lucius. He was bothered, but he's like, look. I just need a breather. Just let me be. And he walks off, and then, Cookie's like, you better not print that. You better not print that. I'm like, all right, Cookie, control the narrative. I ain't mad at you. But then we actually see that, so pretty much they're in panic mode because Lucius, I think Cookie's talking to Andre. She's like, look, this is serious because, you know, the board has pretty much let me know that if this album doesn't drop and if this situation with the press doesn't go good, they're going to pretty much make me step down as CEO. So, if anything, she was going to send Andre over. I mean, I think it was Andre, and also I think also Claudia was there. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. But so pretty much, you know, she's like, Andre, I think, was about to go over there and tell the press, you know, to leave, and it's just a no. It's like, you know, we're not going to do this because Lucius has left. But Lucius comes back, and he comes back with Eddie Barker, who's played by Forrest Whitaker. Big fan of Forrest Whitaker. So he's back, and he's like, and he says that, yeah, this is what we was missing. I need an OG, somebody who knows music. And everybody is in awe because, you know, Eddie Barker is a legend in the game. So the first place to go is to work with Tiana. Hakeem is supposed to be there, but Hakeem is not there. And the next thing we find out where Hakeem is. But they go in there and she sings the hook on the song, and you know, Lucius like, yeah, this is Cookie's favorite song, and you know, and then Cookie's like, oh, Lucius, she's like, don't be bashful. You know, once you tell me, Eddie, why it's your favorite song, she says that, look, you know, the men talk about being the bosses in the game, but me, I pimped this bitch. And, you know, they all crack up laughing, and then you see Cookies jamming to it, and it's like, they'll hate the player, hate the game. Like, the song was nice, though. And Tiana was doing it, and the beat on that song is sick. And, so yeah, they pretty much got that going on. So, and we see that Eddie's there, and you know, Tiana's in awe of him because he's a legend, so we see that going on. Then, we get a scene with Warren and Angelo. Angelo's on the phone talking to somebody. All of a sudden, Warren comes in. He's like, I have to go. A prostitute just walked into the room. I was like, you messy. Oh, my God. Like, you sour bitch. It was just so hilarious. So, Warren pretty much steps to Angelo's like, what the hell do you think you was doing out there today? What, you trying to throw me out there? And he's like, no, but in all honesty, I see that you were getting very passionate, and I did what I did to let you know to keep your eyes on the prize. Warren's like, well, maybe you saw me passionate because I'm doing my job. He's like, no, you're sprung on him, and I can see it in your eyes, and I'm going to tell my mom. And he said, fool, the only person scared of your mom is your bitch ass. I was like, ooh, okay, Warren. He's like, first of all, you need to show me some motherfucking respect because I'm helping your shit because we all in this crap because of you. And the next thing you know, we had boom, 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 boom. Hey, it's our king, open up. I'm like, ooh. So he tells Warren to go away. Angela opens the door for Hakeem. He's like, I'm here to see your mother. She's like, she's not here right now. But she's not here right now, and she's like, but I can help you if you need. He's like, I don't want to talk to your punk ass. He's like, look, you know, Hakeem, just give her custody. Just give her what she's asking for. You know, because at the end of the day, you either you either just give her custody, or or better yet, you're gonna end up with some other man. Or better yet, you're going to get to a point where Bella's going to be calling some other man daddy. I was like, ooh, and Hakeem lost it and knocked the dog shit out of Angelo. And I was here for it. But at the end of the day, you play right into Angelo's trap. Because he's like, you know, the court, because he punched the shit out of Angelo, got him bloody and everything. He's like, you know, the court actually is not real keen on fathers who can control their tempers. So I'll see your dumb ass in court. And then shut the door on him. I was like, down. So we see from this point, and Hakeem is decided, oh, since I know Angelo is going to try to railroad me in court, I'm going to get the hell up out of here. So he, gets some fake passports and all that, and is going to go to Cuba where, he'll be out of U.S. jurisdiction. And he's going to take Bella. He goes to ask Tiana, does she want to go? He wants Tiana to go with him. And we can tell in Tiana's face she didn't want to go. But she's like, I'm going to stay here because, I'm due back in. But I'll meet you at the airport tomorrow and we'll go. Come the next day, he ready to go. Tiana shows up and she brings Cookie. So he's like, Mom, I got to get the hell out of here because I'm not going to let them take Bella from me. She's like, yeah, and I'm not going to lose you. At the end of the day, we're lions. We don't run from nothing. We stand in it and we fight. And that's where our power lies. And she's like, look, you my son. I love you. And I got your back 100%. We are going to beat this. And he gives in, because, that's Mama. And Mama always wins. So we saw that go down. Then we also get a scene, Eddie starting to, walk, go around to the different studios. We see that he goes into Jamal's studio. And him and Jamal dap up. He's like, hey, Uncle Eddie, what's good? And he was listening to this song, and it's a song that Eddie wrote with Lucius. And he said that, what are you doing with the lyrics on this? Because it seemed to me, I thought the whole idea of 2020 is that you're supposed to be doing remix of some of the of some of Lucius' material. And it seemed to me that you're making a remix because you're changing the words. And he said, do you know why we wrote this song? This was a song pretty much, a protest song against, Tipper Gore and the Parent Advisory Board, trying to sanction hip-hop on free speech. And this was our song to attack them, to say that hip-hop is a voice of the people, and we have a right to lend our voices. We have a right, and we have the right to use our voices. We have the right to speak freely. And, Jamal was like, yeah, but, a lot has changed then, and, I'm feeling the lyrics of what I'm doing now, so I'm not changing anything, and all of that. But then he kind of let him know that, look, he's like, okay, well, the idea is free speech. So one thing you could do, you can kind of put some of the court hearings inside the song, put pieces of it in there, so it lets the fans know where this came from, because you don't want to lose that. This was very monumental in hip hop, and you just can't brush that under the rug. We have to constantly remind them about this fight for hip hop, to take its rightful place. So we saw that go down. Let's see. Also, we actually see that Vi and we actually see that Eddie and Lucius actually go back with Vi, and Vi has finally got together. He's seeing blue, and he's like, "Yes, you sound beautiful. It's great." So then afterwards, we see that Lucius goes to Claudia, and he's saying, "Why is it that I'm just seeing colors, and what does this all mean?" And she pretty much said it's synesthesia. So she literally had and she knows what the fuck was going on, because they were in the boardroom at Empire. She pretty much had, a canvas down and all these colors, and she played one of his songs, and he started playing with the blue and started playing with all these different colors, and the next thing you know, he made like this abstract piece of art. And like, it got to the point where he went from doing the canvas on the table to doing it on the actual wall of the boardroom. And he's just in his zone doing this thing. And, all of a sudden, Cookie comes in. She's like, what the heck is going on up in here? She's like, it's the music. He hears the music in his mind, and the music is playing, and how the way he's getting it out is by colors. I mean, it's called synesthesia. He sees colors when he hears music. And then she's calling, and like Cookie's calling Lucius, and he's not responding. She's like, he can't hear you, because all he hears is the music in his head. And then all of a sudden, we get a flashback. Cookie remembers this, because every time she called Lucius, he was in his zone. When he was playing music, he would tone her out, and all he could hear were his thoughts and his ideas and his creative vibe. And we saw that throughout their life. Like every time she would call Lucius and Lucius didn't respond, it's because and then she stopped and she's like, he's not listening to music, he's making music. So I was like, yep, Cookies, and it's just more and more is coming out. So I was just like, yes, Lucius is coming back. I'm happy about this shit. Then, we actually see that finally, before that happened, we actually see that they finally met with the board after the press has followed them for 24 hours throughout the day. They pretty much see that Lucius is okay, but then Cookie admits to the board that, look, he has suffered brain damage from the accident, and it's been a slow process, but he is making a full recovery, and he will be back, in no time. So one of the board women, the same board woman that Thirsty was eating out in season 2 on the elevator, she's like, well, yeah, that's all well and good, but I think we need to bring someone from the outside to help you run the company. And he's like, I knew y'all bitch asses were going to say that. Cookie got up and brought in Eddie. She's like, yeah. And then everybody's like, oh my God, Eddie Barker, wow. And then all of a sudden she's like, oh yeah, girl, I see your mouth open. Close it. I was like, get her ass, Cookie. And, pretty much in the scene, she's like, look, yeah, I figured y'all was going to say bring somebody from the outside, but I'm not going to bring somebody from the outside who has nothing to do with Empire. Eddie Barker's family. And if I'm going to bring somebody on, it's going to be family. And then they ask, like, Eddie Barker, you're down with this? And she's like, yeah, I'll do anything for Cookie. Cookie's fam. I've got her back. I'll be an advisor to the CEO. It is what it is. So I'm like, oh, okay. But then again, the jury's still out on Eddie Barker, though. He seemed like he's well and good, but is he playing at a different angle? Does he have some hidden agenda? And time will find that out. But so far, so good. So then back at the house, Lucius is still painting. He's still, getting into his zone. But then we see while he's painting, he's starting to get his memory back. It's starting to kick in. He's like, I remember. He starts getting flashbacks of Andre, of Jamal, and of everything. Everything is starting to come back to him. He's like, I remember. And Claudia's in this scene with him, and they're playing with the paint together. It was very reminiscent of Ghost with Demi Moore and Patrick Swayze. I was getting a lot of that in that scene. And then the next thing you know, he looks at Claudia, but he sees Cookie, and she's like, you're my muse. I love you. I love you. And they just dancing around, and they just, playing with this paint and everything. And I think, yeah, they smash, because then she gets up and she's like, oh, I want to cover my scars because I don't want you to see my scars. And he says, why not? They're beautiful. And she's saying that, this is so great. It's so great that you're finally coming into your memory. You're free now. And I love being your muse. Next thing you know, Lucius is like, my muse? You're not my muse. Cookie is my muse. And she's like, but you said I was your muse. She's like, no, you're not my muse. Cookie is my muse. She's always been my muse. And she's like, but I remember when you took me to the crossroads and everything, you said that you were going to go with me. Yeah, with Cookie, not with you. And then she's like, Dwight, why are you just like, Dwight? I'm Lucius. And she's like, Dwight. She's like, stop calling me Dwight. I'm Lucius. And then the next thing you know, Cookie walked in. She's like, what the hell's going on? She says, what's going on is that Dr. Claudia has fulfilled her purpose. I am now fully sane now. So my office will send your office a check for all that you've done. But now your services are no longer needed, and get the hell out of my house. I was like, the fool, bitch. I was like, yes. Everybody was like, yeah, finally, we're getting rid of this bitch. And then Cookie's like, oh, yes, security, Juanita, make sure y'all get her stuff and get her up out of here. And then she was about to, and then I called her about to say, she's like, oh, no, bitch, get your ass up there and get your stuff and get up out of here. Juanita, make sure she leaves. And Juanita's like, you know I will. So we saw that go down. So I was just like, yes. I was like, Lucius's memories coming back. He was trying to talk to Cookie, but Cookie was like, I can't talk right now because we got to go to the court. You know, we got to hurry up and get down to the courthouse. You know, we'll holler later. We'll talk in the car. And he's like, I'm back. I'm back. And I was like, yes! Finally! We're finally going to get some sanity back with Lucius. And we're finally going to get Lucius Lyon back because I'm ready to see what's going to happen next, y'all. But yeah, that's what I have. If I missed anything, put it down in the comments. I'd love to talk to you about it. But subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, I've started a GoFundMe. You can find that link in the description box. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And I will be back with the next episode of Empire. So until then, everybody, take care.